We're going to talk about GameStop today is because for the last couple of days, the gaming media has been using comments from Ryan Cohen, the CEO of GameStop, and they've been twisting those words into something more of like an anti-physical media thing. But that's not what it is. That's not what it is whatsoever. So let's kind of go over what's exactly going on here. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you guys want to see more content like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button and join me every single day, 9 p.m. over on the main channel, where you can catch me live every single day, 9 p.m. Eastern. I hope to see every single one of you there. Now back to the main video, because people are like quoting Ryan Cohen, and they're like, oh, why is he attacking physical media and all that stuff? And again, it's not that he's necessarily attacking physical media, although I'm sure in his mind, he probably has, like, you know, certain thoughts about it. But realistically, what he was just trying to say is that for his company, retail video games are a very small section of his company's profits. And that if they were to go away, GameStop would still be fine. That's essentially what he was trying to say. But they tried to spin it, like, not necessarily, the gamer who we got the article from. But I have seen other articles where they're trying to spin it as Ryan Cohen, CEO of GameStop, confirms the irrelevancy, I think it was, of like physical media and stuff like that. That's what they were trying to like spin it as. But anyway, let's talk about it. So GameStop isn't interested in selling games. I mean, that's not exactly news if you walked into one recently. The bulk of stock littering the aisles is merchandise and memorabilia, which is true. If you guys been at a GameStop, what do they got? A lot of Pokemon stuff, right? Pokemon cards. Pretty much the same as every like mom and pop video game store, because ironically, the margins are so small on these video games because they have to buy so high, so they end up selling, have to be very aggressive on it. Realistically, the margins are not that high, so they need to make up other avenues to make profits and to grow the business. And for a lot of them, Pokemon is a really big selling factor, especially TCG. And it's so ironic, right? Because TCG is still like super physical media, right? TCG is still physical media. Obviously, they do have digital versions of TCG video games, but realistically, like, it's still a major physical media selling point. So that makes them a lot of money. It makes a lot of these stores a lot of money. A lot of these stores end up trying to buy, or I should say sell TCG card games like Pokemon, Gundam, even One Piece and whatnot over MSRP in order to make a lot of money. That's really what it is. So with that being said, let's talk about it. So Ryan Cohen says that physical games are totally irrelevant to the business is startlingly open. Now, guys, the funny thing is he says it's totally irrelevant to the business for his business. He's not saying that it's totally irrelevant in general. He's not saying that physical media is completely irrelevant in general. But most of the gaming media is reporting it with headlines that says physical media is irrelevant. That's like, it's crazy, bro, what they do in order to try to twist the narrative. But anyway, so in an interview with Bloomberg, he was asked about the recent announcement that Sony's planning to halt physical game disc production in 2028, which not only means pulling the plug on the secondhand market, but slowly phasing out major retailers. Reports suggest that PlayStation will continue to sell physical copies, i.e. codes inside of a box. But these will essentially serve as digital tokens, and it's hard to imagine there being much demand for the plastic paperweights that you've left with after redeeming them. It doesn't matter, Cohen said. It doesn't matter at all. Software, it mattered in the past. Software today makes up less than 12% of the business, and collectibles make up over half of the business. So it's totally, totally irrelevant. Again, irrelevant to the business. That's what I want to specify, because people are looking at this and claiming that he's claiming that physical media is irrelevant. That's not what he's saying. He's just saying that physical media is irrelevant to his own particular business that he's in charge of. But anyway, I mean, I get it. Cohen claimed that the company's making more money than it ever made in its history, despite physical sales being at an all-time low. But it's like Dick's Sporting Goods saying that sports are irrelevant to the business. It's bizarre. Not really. Not really, to be honest with you. Because again, GameStop has always been video games, collectibles, etc. accessories and stuff like that, it hasn't just only been video games. It's not like, even in the past, you walk into a GameStop, it's not that you're only going to see video games on the wall. Even back in the day, decades ago, you walk into a GameStop, you're going to see collectibles. You're going to see keychains. You're going to see all kinds of shit all over the place, right? So it's not just about the video games. And yes, maybe it was a bigger factor back then, but as time goes on, the business has shifted where now the consumer, I guess you can say, is focused more on the accessories and the collectible side of things, more so than just the physical video games. That's basically it. Now, it's so ironic to me because GameStop is very famous for being loaded with Funko Pops back in the day, and we all know how Funko Pops ended, but then their other collectibles do very well, so that's kind of been carrying them. I don't know, it's very interesting, really, to say the least. So, GameStop apparently wants to build an in-game digital marketplace. That should be interesting. So the focus for Cohen right now is to unlock live commerce and use an eBay-style infrastructure to build an in-game digital marketplace. It's no surprise then that GameStop closed 590 stores in 2025, which has only continued in 2026. Clearly, the focus is an online marketplace, which again is unsurprising. Now, apparently, by the way, I don't know if you guys know this, but I said this in the beginning of the stream. Apparently, they now increased their stock to 10% of eBay. They're trying to do a hostile takeover of eBay. Ryan Cohen wants to get to the point where GameStop can do a hostile takeover of eBay because they want to utilize eBay in order to control the market in a way that right now they don't have the infrastructure to do. So they think if they go after eBay and they take control of eBay, it'll allow them to do what they want to do with GameStop while also trying to improve eBay. I don't really know if it's going to be successful, but I'm just telling you that that's their plan. They want to do a complete hostile takeover of this company. Don't know if it's going to work, though. But Cohen's claim to fame was founding the e-commerce pet business Chewy in 2011, which he sold to PetSmart for $3.35 billion. I want you to look at your viewers in the eyes and tell them, are you going to bet on the entrenched management team running the business? Or me, someone that went head-to-head against Amazon, selling 30-pound bags of dog food, turned around a very tough situation at GameStop, and now the company's making lots of money. I mean, at this point, to be fair, it's kind of got a point, right? Like, the guy is a pretty decent businessman, and he has definitely done some really crazy shit, things that other people probably wouldn't have risked or done. So, but that doesn't mean that you're going to strike gold every time. It doesn't mean that you're perfect and you can't make mistakes, and I'm sure he understands that, but still. So, at this point, GameStop's fairly confident and comfortable in the fact that they're not going to have physical media, but I just want to reiterate, Ryan Cohen is not saying physical media is irrelevant. Ryan Cohen is just simply saying that physical media is irrelevant to his business. The journalists out there that are trying to spin it into Ryan Cohen is basically justifying the death of physical media. I think that's a bit of a stretch. And it's just because realistically, for some reason, I don't know why these journals really seem to be on the side of like physical media dying. I really don't know why that is. It's kind of weird. I guess because at the end of the day, they don't really buy anything. They don't buy their own games, right? They don't really they barely even play games. So realistically, they're still going to have their access. They're still going to get their digital codes. Most of the time when they get their free swag, it usually comes with a code anyway. So I'm sure they're going to be fine with it. But it is kind of odd, to see all this go down in this way. But any chance to smear someone, I guess they'll take the opportunity.